This is Abuela Alma's room. We are building Casita from Encanto, so we can use it as the background for our stories. Abuela's room is up on the 3rd floor. It's a small pink tower with a single pink window with 2 window shutters. There are candle motifs on the window top. Her room door is located on the 2nd floor at the center on the back side of the house. There are Pepa and Julieta's doors next to hers. The grandkids' doors are on the 2 sides of the house. The only exceptions are Bruno and Mirabel's doors, and I have yet to figure out where their doors are in the house. I did not realize this first time, but someone mentioned in one of the YouTube videos that Alma's room is exactly the same room as the one that she left behind in the village that she fled. That little detail made Alma an extremely complicated character. Here is a woman who got stuck in time. A part of herself could not move on. Time is frozen for her. The house could have transported her to anywhere, but it transported her back to the village that she came from. The story of Encanto is not told from Alma's perspective, so we don't really get what's going through her mind, why her room looks the way it does. More importantly, why she chooses to stay in that room. It feels like there is a beautiful story waiting to be told, but it wasn't told. The movie implied that Alma fled from a war or a conflict. Most of these stories are told by men for men. What is mostly missing are women's perspectives on these events, expressed in distinctively women's voices. What is even more missing are these stories told by women in their late years, filtered through the wisdom of years, in their own words, in voices that can only be told by them. Also, there is the matter of translation. The Western writers have a higher chance of their stories being told to the audiences around the world because their work is more likely to be translated in different languages. That's not the case with writers in other parts of the world, so we get a very skewed view of our collective human experience. Even if these non-Western novels get translated, something feels missing. If you speak 2 or more languages, you know what I mean. The original novel and the translated work often feel like 2 different novels, even though it is the same story. Something got lost in the translation. The same problem exists for Raya and the Last Dragon. The story seems to be missing that distinctively Southeast Asian voice. But anyway, I digress. I remember one time someone asked during an English class why we are reading a story that was written by a woman when there are thousands of other works, maybe even better, written by men during this time period. Shouldn't we be reading only the best of the best stories? The teacher's answer was that we can get different perspectives and understand the distinctively different voice of the writers. Only someone who lived through that time period, in that gender, in that race, in that social class, in that country, can write a story distinctly in that voice. Overwhelmingly, stories are written by men for men throughout the history. It feels like we're missing Alma's story. If you talk to someone who actually fled a war, they never talk about it elaborately like in the movies or documentaries, at least those ones that I met and knew. Suddenly, something triggers their memories out of the blue, and I will get very small stories about small events that I dare not ask for more. The conversation that Alma and Mirabel had at the river was probably very short. There was no music video worth of conversation. I would imagine Alma's story went something like, I crossed the river without Pedro. I had 3 babies in my arms. Probably a long silence. Then she probably said I was given a miracle. The rest of the unspoken words, in between those spoken words, were never spoken by Alma after. Like there were no words that can describe her story. I spent a little bit more time readjusting the proportions of the house. I have not figured out how to climb up to Bruno and Mirabel's rooms, so the overall shape and size of this house is probably going to change further. Next, we're moving on to Bruno's tower next.